Welcome to mitigation strategies. This time we are going to look at managing internal risk. So what is a risk management? Risk management is the process of identifying risks and eliminating, mitigating as much as you can. So that is risk management. So what is an internal risk management? Internal risk management is specific that related to the offer that you put forward in winning this tender. So who's responsible for your internal risk management? Obviously, it's the bid or proposal manager, the proposal lead, who is ensuring that the solution, whatever that he or she is planning to put forward, includes risks, and the risks are manageable risks. So he or she should take the ownership of the risk management strategy. So that brings us to some of the best practices. What are some of the best practices for internal risk management? Number one, recognize all aspects of risks. Doesn't matter whether it's proposal risks only or it's related to also performance risk. Regardless of what type of risk, identify the aspects of risk. It could be people, it could be resources and tools, or it could be lessons learned from your previous bid that it has happened in the past and you have added it in this tender because it's going to happen. So you'll find ways, you already find mitigated, add it to it. People, resources and tools, lessons, performance tools, performance risks, and proposal risks. That's it. Now, mitigation strategy. What are some of the ways that you could mitigate risk? First of all, you need to identify the risk, prioritize the risks into low, medium, high. Then you categorize the risks into probability of happening. So if this risk happens, this is the impact. A low probability risk with the highest impact is risk. A high probability risk with the highest impact should be the top of the risk that you need to work on. A lower probability of happening and the lower impact is something that you may need to accept it, because there is no point trying to compare something that's high impact to something low impact, and the chances of it happening is also low. So create a risk management matrix. So once you create a risk management matrix, go line by line and do 4 things, 4 tests. Number one, accepting risks. As I already mentioned, this is low probability of happening, this is low impact, so let me accept those type of risks. Number 2, mitigation. Okay, you are challenging your way of thinking. This is the solution. Because of the solution, I'm getting this risk, but I'm going to challenge my thinking, challenge my solution to just see whether this risk still needs to be there. If not, can I change my solution and mitigate the risk if possible? So you invest more to reduce risks, or you find new ways of working and reduce risk altogether. But either way, mitigation is point number 2. Third one is transfer. This risk is not just your way of working. This risk is predominantly based on your team partner's risk, or it's based on the risk that the customer itself is asking you to go for, or it's a supplier risk. Either way, with full knowledge and acknowledgement, most importantly with the agreement, pass through the risk, transfer the risk. So what are the risks that you could transfer off so that you could also take them off? Finally, avoid the risk. These are the high impact, high probability risk. Do whatever you can to reduce, not just reduce, avoid the risk altogether. So some of the legal clauses, the indemnity clauses that you might need to take risk on, think whether it's worth it. Risk is too high, pull out of the tender, or find ways to avoid the risk. So 4 different risk management strategy. Number 1, accept. Number 2, mitigate. Number 3, transfer. Number 4, you avoid it altogether. And what's the key point here? The key principle is, you know what? You have to accept risk exists in any solution. So use it and never be reluctant to identify and address your risk. Where possible, goes to the risk so that you can clearly say you're strengthening your success, you're weakening your competitors, strengths, and also you're highlighting more of your competitor's weakness and you're mitigating your risks. So see how you can go as the solution. So that's it. Internal risk management: identify the risks, address the risks. These are proposal related risks based on your solution that you believe is going to add the maximum value to win this tender. So that's it. Internal managing risk.